You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Birdie, 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 boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, welcome to AfterBuzz TV, brought to you by Bing, where Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another live Buzzin' After Raw After Show recap for the week of December 10th. Raw's coming from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and I'm here in studio live right now. I'm Ryan GQ Money Katz, and I'm joined by my tag team of broadcast brilliance. I got Ryan the Colonel Clum and Josh Showtime Padgett. Woo! And over on the couch, because we got a packed house tonight, you saw him last week, Raven, the truth is scary, Travis Berry, and I'm not a stupid man, but I do know what love is, Jenny Allford.
I like that.
We are putting the milk and cookies on this couch.
Hell yeah.
But you guys look fantastic.
I love the XFL jersey.
Representing.
Wait, did you say I look fantastic or Fandango?
We could talk about Fandango because we haven't seen Fandango promos in weeks. And we could just get right up to the buzzing right from the get-go, because with Fandango comment, it brings me to one of the WWE Rushmores that our fans submitted in. I got a submission. This one made me laugh. I enjoyed it. From Mick Cigar, saying his WWE Rushmore: Otunga, Darren Young, Wade Barrett, and Fandango.
Oh my goodness! I would like to know the rhyme and reason for those, but
fantastic choices.
I would also like to know that
it seems to be new Rushmore.
I'd like to know the age of that person as well.
Hey, he could have wrote it like 3 a.m. on Saturday.
Of course.
Mick Cigar, I got to imagine he's been drinking, smoking, dipping in a little fine cognac. Yeah. Man, but we got a crazy day. I mean, we've had some conversation online this whole week.
Right.
We got some interaction on the Twitter accounts with the hashtag WWE Rushmore tag. I got a lot of responses. We'll go into that. We'll talk about it more a little bit later.
I didn't see much of that. I'm bad on the Twitter. I gotta get way better on it. Yeah.
Man, this guy's plugging Twitter everywhere. He gets brought into random conversations, into various social circles, and he's like, "Don't forget to follow me on Twitter."
2,448 followers. Come on.
Damn.
Not bad for somebody.
You're probably repping a high clout score these days. I'm learning about this clout score thing.
What is that?
Clout. It measures your social influence based on your social media circles.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah, man, we had an action-packed week. We're leading up into TLC pay-per-view, coming live on pay-per-view this Sunday, and this would be what's considered the go-home edition. How'd you guys all feel as a whole so far for this episode of Raw?
Overall, good.
Solid, very solid.
Feed me more.
Yeah.
Big finish. I love the end. We'll get to the end at the end. We definitely have plenty of time to talk this week. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank God, because Luke Hawkins isn't calling in to hog up all the airtime this week.
Shad Gaspar dropping a few S-bombs and F-bombs.
Oh, real quick, I need to say happy birthday to Shad's tag team partner, JTG. Today is his birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday.
He was potentially on my 6 to Knicks for next week. But
I will not comment on that.
man, I mean, I know a lot of people are scared of this. This is next week's conversation. We'll buzz about it at the end of the broadcast as well, but it's going to be an exciting one for next week.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to let you pull me into that one. I still don't trust you last time.
I'm jumping in feet first deep in the water, man. I'll throw the 6 first.
I might watch you jump in before after last time you threw
Hopefully the water's not too cold. Hopefully it's not too cold. I did throw you under the bus.
You totally threw me under the bus.
And that was right my first week. It was great.
It was your first show, I think.
Can we include a talent from NWA Hollywood? Anyways, it was a hot crowd tonight in New Jersey.
Great chance right from the probably had a couple of unique and clever chants.
I think being in New Jersey, I think it's a little taste of what fans are going to get come WrestleMania. And the night after, it's going to be a hot crowd. I think just leading up between now and WrestleMania, we're going to get some hot crowds. We have some big cities that Raw's coming to.
Yeah, it's pretty much their home territory they're in tonight and, this week.
Exactly. They're staying on the East Coast.
East Coast tribute to the troops.
New York, Northeast.
Taped last night. Next week's Raw's in Philadelphia. Always a hot crowd in Philly. We have the first Raw of the year. Looking forward is in Tampa. And then we have some TVs out here in L.A.
Injury coming out of tribute for the troops as Randy Orton got hurt during the tapings I was reading. So we'll see how that plays out to any future
I didn't see that.
pay-per-view matches.
I've been
and
away from the
situations.
sheets for the weekend. I've been wrestling, so don't know much that's been
this
going on.
guy's been wrestling. Had a busy weekend.
By the way, you know how last weekend I said I had never had a win outside of MPW? I got my first one yesterday outside of MPW.
Yeah! Right. Making his way to the pay window.
No more pin me, pay me.
Well, let's get into how this Raw broadcast started. We went to the intro package as usual, the recap and the setup. I got to be honest, man, their intro packages are just so good.
Love them.
And they incorporated a little more, instead of just being the dramatic sound effects and clips, they went into the high energy music as well. And this was a package that made you excited about this week's Raw, excited about the pay-per-view. I think WWE is, I gotta be honest, man, a lot of places don't give them credit. I think I'll give them credit where credit's due. They're on a roll. The product is getting better, and it's becoming more exciting again.
And I'll just say on those packages, their editors, just coming from a TV guy, are top-notch. They're so good. They're so cutting edge and ahead of everybody else.
They do some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the WWE does not get any type of awards.
Absolutely.
Their packaging, their television production, just to begin with. You know, on a regular week, you know, Kevin Dunn is the executive producer, doing live TV for that company every single week. You have 3 hours of Raw. You have, before Raw, they tape about a half hour of Superstars or Saturday Morning Slam. Tuesdays, you have 1 hour of main event, and you have SmackDown. So you have...
Yeah.
What's that? 6 hours of live TV just on a regular week.
Crazy
weekly.
production
That's
company.
a lot.
And then on pay-per-view weeks, you have a half hour before the pay-per-view, 3 hours of pay-per-view, going to the next night. I mean, there's 16 18-wheeler trucks they have to, pack up and unload every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's amazing what the WWE does that no one there gets credit for. Vince McMahon created it's huge in the NBA and the NFL now. The wire cam.
I was going to say that.
Camera that is on a piece of string, and it just glides across the stadium or the arena. That was created by the XFL.
Yeah, they never get credit for that.
And WWE brought it over to their product. NFL stole it blatantly. Stole that camera angle, that camera period. NBA uses it now.
It's the old Picasso line.
Yeah.
Good artist copy, great artist steal. You see a good
They're
idea out
very
there, you
innovative.
go take it and make it happen. No trademark, it's all yours.
They get copied all the time.
Yeah,
I wonder, though, I would think that Vince would have been smart enough to have a patent on that technology earlier, or maybe he does make a licensing fee on it. I'm not too
Or
sure.
maybe he was just the first one to see that camera. Maybe he didn't own the camera and somebody else invented it and said, hey, I've got this new thing. And Vince said, that'd be great. Let's
because
try
it was a new angle for football. He did bring into the XFL, ironically, conversations going into my jersey. But
and it took a while from them actually, just as a TV person, figure out how to use that camera. It was overused. The NFL used it really badly at first. It took a minute to figure out how to use that. But it's a great camera.
The other thing about their production company, I mean, the turnaround, the speed. I mean, they're the kind of company that at the end of a pay-per-view, you're not just getting a highlight video full of clips and highlights from the match. You're getting a video that tells a story and has effects and is post-produced.
I think that the best one is every year they do it for WrestleMania. At the end of WrestleMania, whatever the theme song is, that theme song is playing to the beat and the clips of that show. And it's like, they even have the main event, which ended like 2 minutes before they're already in the video clip.
It's almost like they're probably cutting as that thing's playing.
They pretty much are cutting. And I've seen the production truck. I think the new HD truck they have is about $5.6 million.
Yeah, I know a few years ago there was a big article in the trade magazines that their production truck is the most state-of-the-art of any entertainment company out there because of the fact they got to roll with the punches, go on the road
every week of the year,
every week in rock television.
And that's the thing. Like, if for the fans who go to the live television events, if you go behind the arena to where all the trucks are parked, you can see the satellite trucks, you can see the production truck, and you can see how big it is, and it's literally once you're inside, it looks like a studio. You would not believe it's a truck.
And they've got to have multiple of those, right?
Yes, there's I believe 3.
Okay, yeah.
At least production trucks, and then there's a few satellite trucks.
Right.
And so on. So.
Josh, I wanted to let you know of a comment we got from Mr. Adrenaline 1982. Big fan of yours. Says he thinks you remind him of Ben Affleck.
Oh, I saw that
I
comment.
get that all the damn time.
Look at that. How does that make you feel?
That's fine. Hey, I'll take it. Ben Affleck was like people's sexiest man alive back in like 2001 or something.
What have you done for me lately, though, Josh? I mean, come on now.
Amazing movies. Argo.
Yeah, he got called the Monopoly Man, and you're complaining about being called Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Great compliment.
I'm not complaining.
Really.
I said like he was world.
3 chops for Josh.
All right, so Raw tonight started up
I'll
with.
still got bruises from your.
All right, let's get to some action. Raw
Yeah,
started
we need
off
to.
tonight. We get in there, and Dolph is on top of a ladder in the middle of the ring. Money in the Bank briefcase hanging, and he's sitting there talking about the fact that we're only 6 days until the pay-per-view and 15 days away from Christmas. But for John Cena, Christmas and the pay-per-view are going to be one of the same, and it's not going to be a Merry Christmas for John Cena, according to Dolph Ziggler.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, Ziggler.
We're
God.
setting this up. He essentially said that the Golden Boy John Cena has failed to win a championship and is not deserving of this opportunity.
Yeah, it's not right. This is an injustice, and I thank God we got the Shield around.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to. I know a lot of our Twitter followers wanted us to mention about that awesome promo.
It plays later in the show, so I
Oh, they
figured
played it later in the
we'd
show?
get to
Oh,
it.
I thought it was in the package too. I think.
They showed like 2 seconds of a clip of it.
Oh, yeah,
But they showed it a little bit later.
They showed the whole package after. Essentially, from that promo, Sheamus comes out, does a little taunting. They show a little videos of SmackDown, the interaction of the contract signing of no contact contract
of Sheamus
between
and
Sheamus
Show.
and Big Show. And Big Show had a little dance on that video screen. I mean, I know it's a SmackDown clip, but they showed it tonight. He had a little shuffly dance when he was kind of taunting Sheamus. It's very entertaining. Big Show was on top of his stuff.
Big Show's incredibly entertaining.
So after Sheamus is out, Big Show comes back out, says blah, 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 blah. You're boring me, boring me, boring me. And then Sheamus tried to cut a joke and bombed, man. Cut a joke about chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
But maybe, as we saw
he bombed, man.
last week, we didn't think it was very funny, and we had some people from
That's right.
Ireland write and tell us how funny it was.
Richard
so.
O'Reilly from Dublin said that Sheamus's promo last week was brilliant, and we were all like, what the heck is this guy? We thought it was the worst thing ever and made no sense. He's like, you got to get that Father Tom is like the most famous thing over.
It's got to be like a cultural type of thing.
Cultural.
Yeah, I don't know. I have 2 Irish friends in New York, and they were like, "That man's lame as shit." You know.
Josh!
I stopped.
Josh, I shouldn't draw attention, but if you could
stopped.
apologize to our viewers, I mean.
Wait, I missed that. Did he just
I
say
said
another
shit.
4-letter
He
word?
dropped
He just said it again.
Said it again. Oh, Josh. 2 chops at the end of the night before we go off the air for Josh. 2 chops. 2 chops. All right. Anyways, long promo. Really, nothing really came about it. Nothing special. Ziggler got thrown off the ladder, got crotched on the ropes, which leads to later he's wrapped up.
Yeah. Just another face being a big bully out there.
So from all the positive talk I just had a minute ago, how WWE's on a roll, it was a segment just to move things along. Set up stuff for the pay-per-view so everyone knows.
It was the typical opening 15-minute promo.
Yeah, but no one likes that. Everyone.
No.
It's one thing that I think I hear from so many wrestling fans is they all just wish it would start on action.
And I'm hearing that from people I've been watching with who don't watch wrestling are asking me, why aren't they wrestling? I don't want to watch this talk.
It should start with a bang, not just end with a bang. That's what I think.
Absolutely. I really think that it would make more sense. It would get people hooked earlier. I don't mind long promos. Throw them in the show.
Yeah.
But if you came into that opening package and you got the highlight package, and then all of a sudden from the fireworks and pyro, we're in the ring right as the bell rings. Screw the entrances even at that point, and just start action. Have a quick match. Let it even be a squash. 2-3 minutes. Boom. Action happened. Now we get to go to the big promo,
Right.
but everyone's at least revved
Pumped up
Right,
for
or
it.
do a 5-minute promo to set up that match or set up the main event. And I'm okay because sometimes you don't want to start every show the same way. So if you want to do a 5-minute promo, something small, but to start with 15, 20 minutes is way too much.
Yeah. I mean, we came back from commercial, and we had Vince McMahon. We had the tease going into commercial that Vince was going to be on the show. And Vince came out onto the stage in a fantastic mood today. I mean, the Vince power strut was amplified by at least 12. I mean...
Was it a strut, or was it like, he knew R-Truth was coming out, so he's giving a little...
I mean, R-Truth came out and had a great entrance himself, like trying to outdo McMahon. But McMahon had the shuffle going and the arms and the legs were kicking. I think Jenny was like, did he get hurt even more or something like that? Like,
Nobody shuffles like him.
And it was just, he had this big smile on his face. Like, he looked genuinely happy, and I think that was a trend that I saw in the whole broadcast. A lot of the wrestlers looked like they were having a good time tonight and really enjoying themselves.
I think it also goes back to the crowd. It was a hot crowd.
Was hot.
True.
We're not sure what happened before Raw, but I'm sure they could tell it was a hot crowd going into the live show. So, everyone, you feed off of the crowd.
There's no doubt about it. What was the Hell in a Cell we watched? The crowd killed that entire show. A crowd can make or break a show.
Absolutely. Vince brought out Vicky Guerrero, his comedy foil now. There's a weird, I'm not a fan of this relationship between them. It's kind of awkward. That's just what it is. Weird is the only word. That why would Vicky be put into this managing supervisor position, a position of authority and power, only to be belittled and berated by Vince McMahon and just made to seem very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like a weird chemistry together too. It's not just like their characters. I'm just like I don't get it, And for them to be doing this like week in and week out, it creates like a good 5-10 minutes of just awkwardness where you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on Monday Night Football,
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, and I said before, I think the current general manager authority figure is so tired. They need to get rid of that and figure out some new way to do that. Go back to the Jack Tunney over the authority figure shows up once in a while or something different.
And then you got the fact that, Vince is supposed to be a ratings getter. He's supposed to be one of those guys that makes people tune in, that makes you tweet, that makes you call your friends, that makes you say you got to be watching Raw. And then all of a sudden, all we get is him in a segment that makes you want to turn off. It's a complete,
Right.
I don't know. It's a paradox to the paradigm of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's not the person you would think Vince would be working with. Stick him in with the Shield or something hot right now.
I would think you'd want to elevate the temperature, heat it up, and try to spark it. Because as we were talking about, ratings are in the crapper, man.
Are they really in the crapper, or is it just,
Well, the truth is ratings for all shows overall are down, and that is because, cable TV has made such a niche audience that it's not that you have 25 million people watching network TV now. You have 13 million people watching network TV, and then 1 million people watching 25 different shows.
Let's not forget, you can now watch Raw on Hulu Plus. So how many people who were watching it on Mondays now are, I'll just catch it on Wednesday on the internet, or I'll just catch it online.
But I think the Hulu Plus version is a 90-minute version.
It is a 90-minute version.
Right, so you're missing, you have matches, promos, and content
but
cut out.
But it still doesn't mean there aren't people who are going to go, I'll just catch it online some point.
I haven't played or downloaded with the new app yet. I know that they have the features that you can watch the matches while they're still in progress during commercials. Can you watch Raw itself on the app? Or not necessarily. I would think probably not.
I haven't seen the new app yet, so I'm not sure.
Because you wouldn't, they would know you don't necessarily have a subscription to cable in USA. Maybe there's some licensing.
There would be
logistics there. Anyways, Vicky and Vince, it was all about setting up the triple main event for tonight's broadcast. Big Show and John Cena to headline the card tonight. We also have Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, and AJ finally gets some revenge on Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's excited. The excitement, so about 2 months ago, the excitement levels for AJ were up. She couldn't do no wrong. Everyone was very into her, and now, through the scandal and all this, it seems like everyone's getting a little bit.
WrestleMania time, she was really hot.
Yeah, I guess it's been that long.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan was the WrestleMania. That was time flies, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time. That was a while ago. So yeah, she became general manager on the 1000th Raw, right?
That's
which
what it
was in
Correct.
July.
Correct.
So actually, it's been going on a little while. This kind of boring AJ.
Well, that whole thing, we got 3 main events. Vince is in a good mood. he says, "Bring on Truth," and Truth came shuffling on out with some giant dance moves also. Like he was trying to outdo the Vince Shuffle, and I think Vince's smile was pretty big too as he got past. That he was like, "That's my boy, yeah, doing what I say."
Truth is great.
Literally his boy. Anyways,
What are you implying there,
I
Raven?
did not say anything.
Are you coming from a perspective that we can't come from?
But you're trying to get me in trouble.
I don't
He
ever
does
try
that. You got to watch
I
out.
don't
You got
ever
to watch
try
out.
to get
He tries
anybody
to
in
do
trouble.
that.
I just try to put on a very thought-provoking, informative podcast.
But while Truth was coming out and Vince went to the back, Vicky stood alone on the ramp in disbelief that she had to wrestle AJ later.
Yeah, I mean, she's the managing supervisor. She's not a wrestling. She shouldn't be in a wrestling match. She doesn't have a wrestler's contract.
This should have been something that happened, yes, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has to go through any sort of urine analysis to be able to do that
Exactly.
match, and if her estrogen levels and hormone levels are okay, or if maybe she's under some sort of performance-enhancing drug.
Did she
What
ever
do you think about that, or where they can
Vicky?
just make
Really?
anybody wrestle?
What if she's on HCG?
Well, no, what's HCG?
I don't know.
HCG is a fertility drug that people now use to help lose weight.
Oh.
You go on a reduced calorie diet. Yeah, see, I'm trying to teach these people. So if you haven't, so if you feel like you've been working out and just can't lose that extra 10, 15 pounds, and if you
HCG.
have that
Yeah,
15
you get, like,
pounds to
shots of
give,
it, right?
you do get shots of
Why
it.
do you know about this?
I know lots of things. I have knowledge of lots of increasing it. Not for any personal experience. If I was going personal experience on,
You better watch out. You're going to get buzzard here
no,
in a
man,
minute.
I'm all about the Zeltic. I'd like to freeze my fat with that freezing modified liposuction, non-invasive. Seems pretty exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Try to give myself a nice little six-pack physique instead of the fact that
shaving it?
my vest keep tightening, man, because I think I'm putting on more weight. I stopped
Do
running
you-
You have the
again.
hair six-pack.
kind of
Do
looking
you
like
guys really
Hornswoggle over
think
there?
there's any kind of urinalysis? I mean, don't even think about Vicky. Think about the other guys that are like ginormous.
Oh, yeah.
I have plenty of friends
no, there are,
get tested
yeah.
regularly. They go through, but it does seem to be the same people that generally get the test
No,
more
I-
often.
Well, you shouldn't go
we
to
know
the arena
people
early.
who are down there.
Show up to the arena late.
Yeah. I know people down there that have been like tested 3 times in like a 4-month period. I mean, they test
Now,
everybody.
HGH isn't traceable, right?
I mean, I don't know the logistics on that. I know it's technically in the policy. You're not
It's in the
supposed to be
policy.
on it, but
Yeah.
it may pass through your system pretty quick. I don't know how the logistics of this. I think my
Anything
dad
on the
was
federal
asking me
bans
about some
list
hormone
is-
replacement recently as well, trying to boost his testosterone.
The new thing.
And he came to me thinking I was the magic medicine man that would know the knowledge.
You know a lot. You know a lot.
But I didn't know that. All right, first match of the night. R-Truth with that great entrance, taking on the Barrett Barrage, Wade Barrett. Kofi Kingston on commentary. Antonio Cesaro out there on commentary as well.
Cesaro.
Yeah, what did I say?
Sato.
Cesaro.
I
Cesaro.
said Cesaro.
Yeah, you know,
You know,
you don't want him to show up and lift you up.
I'm from northern Switzerland. That's how we say it up there. That's our vernacular.
Switzerland, Colorado.
Kofi had some funny things. Essentially, Wade Barrett's attention during the match was on Kofi Kingston at ringside, and Kofi just saying, "Hey, don't worry about me, son. Worry about your match in the ring."
And it cost him.
It cost him.
Wade Barrett took his eye off the prize.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
He
I
lost
love
to the
Barrett.
truth.
God. Well, yeah, truth is awesome.
But
now.
he did lose
I'm
to the
okay
truth.
with truth
Yeah.
doing it.
I mean,
But
I might be
I-
okay with that. I like Truth too, but
love
Wade
Truth.
Barrett, man.
You're trying to build that man up. Yeah.
But do you think Wade's going to get his first taste of gold here against Kofi?
I do.
But you
I
have
think it
to
would make
think,
sense.
no, it's good that Truth got over because
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to make him believable that he can beat Cesaro.
Exactly. Got to send him in strong, knowing that we're going to probably
It's
get.
believable that Kofi can beat Barrett. It's believable that Wade could beat Kofi. And it's believable that Cesaro can beat Truth.
Kofi had a nice
But
exchange with
that's
Cesaro at
You know,
ringside
Truth
as well.
is the one, the odd man out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Make him strong.
yeah. And plus, you know, he has an unfair advantage because little Jimmy, you know, he's right here right now.
In studio
Yeah,
guest.
he's in studio guest right. He's got his phone and his camera. I don't know
Here's what I'll
he's
tell
doing.
you about what makes it kind of
Just looking
cool
at
with
Jenny
that.
over here.
What's cool about that R-Truth win, when he hit that little move, the diving, rolling, wheelbarrow, sunset flip, modified, whatever you want to call it, he hit it cleaner than he has ever hit that move. So it was cool that he got that win, because normally there's a little clunky lack of fluidity on the final roll through, and he hit it clean, so getting the 3 count. I also liked when Kofi looked over at Cesaro and said, "Hey man, that's a sweet purse. You know, I'm looking for a stocking stuffer for my mom and sister." So, you know, funny little lines on commentary. Kofi trying to show a little personality, trying to bring the wildcat out of him.
Hey,
David Otunga had a TLC commercial, and this was well produced. I liked it. The law offices of Otunga and Otunga.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was, if you've ever been hit by a table, a ladder, or a chair, you need to contact the law offices of Otunga and
Didn't
Otunga.
he do the TLC commercial last year?
He may have. That may be the gimmick, is the
Yeah,
ambulance
maybe.
chaser style commercial. I don't remember, but it would make sense. It fits the vibe for sure.
Yeah, and his acting was better on this, actually. He was believable. I enjoyed actually that commercial a lot. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. You know what else is good?
What's that?
Subscribing to us on iTunes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Rating us, commenting.
Comment.
You got to rock those 5-star ratings. So please head on over and just click those stars. It helps us out. Definitely throw the comments. As you can tell, we like the interaction. We like the support of our viewers, our fans, our listeners. Yeah, man.
And also, I said go to YouTube and comment as well.
Should
is
do
where
that.
You can see us, all those people listening on iTunes, if they don't get to see us. So if they want to see us, they can go to YouTube.
I was told by someone that I looked very different than they were expecting as they
Really?
watched for the first time. They usually listen every week, and this was the first time they watched. And they were expecting someone a little taller, with medium-length blonde hair and a clean-shaven face.
You used to have blonde hair.
I did. I used to have long-length blonde hair. I had a great ponytail at one point.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was fantastic
They
looking back in the
expect Edge
day.
or someone?
And then it all went to hell for me.
Yeah, I was watching some
When I
of
was-
your fights on YouTube back in like early 2000s.
The honest truth is, man, when I was in college, like my acting teacher said, like you say, I looked like a young Brad Pitt. I used to look like a Val Kilmer, like when he looked good and wasn't a
Right.
fat slob. And then it all went away, man. The hair started going. New hair started growing in the ears, out of the ears, the back. Life goes on. I get older, and
At least you still have your hornswoggle height.
I almost had to play him for mocap.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
No, they actually bring Hornswoggle. Like, it's funny because Hornswoggle's the only WWE superstar that does do his own mocap for
Oh,
the video
really?
game.
That's funny.
Yeah, they actually bring him in to do it, and they don't have a replacement actor for
Well,
that.
what else
Wow.
is he going to do? Hang out under the ring or something?
Maybe. Also, we're plugging iTunes and YouTube. Let's push some Twitters as well while we're at it. I got I am Smiley. We also use the hashtags AfterBuzz Raw or Raw AfterBuzz. I can't even talk right now. You got the Cluminator. We got
Cluminator.
Showtime. We got Raven 1220. Jenny, I don't know yours offhand.
Jenny Allford. 2 L's.
Wow, very, very, very clever.
Yeah, well.
But it's
easy.
good. No, it's the best to get your name. I wasn't able to. No, I think I just tried to stay consistent. Smile. Anyways, let's get back to wrestling.
All right.
AJ is back. We're in the back. She's excited. She finally gets her chance to take on Vicky Guerrero, and she runs into Oksana. And Oksana says, "Are you going to tell John Cena?" And she's like, "That's a great idea. I should tell John Cena." And then she runs into Caitlyn. And Caitlin's like, "Well, are you going to tell John Cena?" I think Caitlyn was a little more of the negative vibe.
Yeah.
And then there was a little exchange. And then she said, I'm going to go tell John.
Man, Caitlin's a beast.
Yeah, she is.
Every week. You know, you go like a couple weeks without seeing her, and you see her again, you're like, holy crap.
And you mean that in a good way, I'm assuming.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, I think she's gorgeous.
She is. Caitlin's
certainly
really
be able to
nice.
handle
so
it, but,
beautiful.
Because
There
every
you go.
woman loves to hear being called a beast.
No, she's a wrestler.
She has an
all right?
amazing
Yeah.
body.
See?
For that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's either
oh,
it's like
man.
she could kick my ass.
Yeah, oh man, she would really kick my ass.
Yeah, she could. I said it. She
Someone's
could.
got
You think she's ever been to the old BDSM?
That is not on the 7 deadly words. I did not say a 4-letter word. Ass is okay.
Ass is
It's
okay.
after 10 o'clock.
I'm gonna.
Ass is okay all the time.
Okay,
man.
I was just checking. You know.
You think she's into some BDSM, little dominatrix?
I don't. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't get.
You've been a very good boy.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that?
Look at that smile.
Is that Fred Norris out there?
You know,
Josh, look at Josh's.
one
Josh
of
is
those little
digging
mood
it.
rings on right now. Woo.
Wait, the mood ring
What's
just
the
lit
mood
up.
ring?
Oh, did it go to love?
I went to
It
dark
did.
purple.
What does the green stand
That is
for?
purple. Relaxed. Uh-oh.
Has anybody got a cigarette right now? Yeah. All right, 4-team tag team matchup. Usos, primetime players, the Colognes, and the return of the Rhodes Scholars, something I wasn't expecting this week. Mm-hmm. I was reading stuff on the sheets that they were pushing this apprentice angle for Sandow. It seemed like they were contemplating bringing someone up from developmental
Which I heard
to
they still
his
could
new.
be, even with the tag back.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's nice to see them back together.
Mm-hmm.
And this became one of the prime moments of the night, pushing these mustache mood rings.
Cody's mustache
trending on
yeah.
Twitter. Yeah, see,
man.
Jenny's got the ring on.
Oh, yeah, she
Working
does.
it right
All you
here.
guys, people, $5.
yeah.
IamSmiley.com. Order yours today. We'll get that rushed to you in
They're
the mail.
going fast.
You could be
Purple.
I know. Look at this. I mean,
What's the purple
they're
stand
going.
for?
It's very relaxed.
Very-
But what's funny is that the actual little card that I'll send you with you that explains the colors is very different than the description that's written on the label.
So which one's right?
I think it's this one's more in depth, and this one's just marketing on the box, just to kind of make it quick and easy.
I need to get one of them so I can monitor your feelings.
So in the match, we got an elimination style match. Wasn't aware of it, so I was shocked when right away the Colognes lost. The story coming out of this is the Usos were getting pushed big time during this match.
Yeah, what in the world?
In talking about WWE Universe and the Raw Active and the new app that the Universe wants to see the Usos have a tag team championship opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty shocked of all those teams on the list.
And, you know,
They're my number 4 of those 4.
They need to bring back what the Usos they haven't been doing. We didn't see the entrances, but their entrance with the dance, they're not doing that. They're just coming straight out, and that was such a cool thing.
I think it's also a timing thing. You know, it's a pretty.
Takes a long time to do.
Oh, I'm sure it
in-depth
is, yeah.
entrance. So, you know, just get it. Especially when you have 4 teams out there.
Yeah, and this one, the only team that got an intro
yeah.
was Rhodes Scholars.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
you had to give them an
And I'm
entrance.
not talking about specifically here. They have been coming out when you get the entrances. They've been cutting the dance out, and they, you know, the beginning they just have their music and they just walk out to the aisle. They've cut that out.
Crowd
so.
response is definitely stronger when they have it. I think the
Absolutely.
audience doesn't connect to them as much when they don't. Definitely behooves
Yeah.
them to try to do it as much as possible.
Yeah, and if you know, it's an extra 30 seconds, cut 30 seconds out of the match for the entrance because it does so much for them. I believe.
Colognes eliminated first. Primetime players eliminated second, leaving us Rhodes Scholars and the Usos in the ring. And Rhodes Scholars pull this one off.
that was a good match.
Cody hitting a strong crossroads. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Nice tag team match. I think everyone actually got to shine
Yeah.
and come off pretty good. Primetime players
For
didn't
having
do
so
too
many
much
people,
this match.
too.
Yeah, they got eliminated during the commercial
Yeah.
break. So I guess that'll be a chance where you can get on the app and see like how Darren Young got pinned. I know they showed a replay like during the.
And I believe the winner now goes on to face Sin Cara and Mysterio, right?
In a tables match.
Tables match.
Which
For
could
the
be pretty,
number-
could be
for the
pretty
number
exciting.
one contendership, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That could be very good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's funny, we always talked about in the last few weeks the PTP getting the ups and the downs on their push. Them going on a little losing streak now after being pushed so much could actually give them a nice little chance to elevate their shtick, get a little more personality out there, which they still do pretty well.
I'd still like to see another mouthpiece be stuck with them, another manager.
Get
you know,
Showtime
to
Percy
replace
Watson.
to replace AW. You know, I'd like to see.
Let's go to the black man for his opinion. Who should they put with the black men?
There is going to be a comment
Why
on
not?
Obviously,
on YouTube about that,
Why
buddy.
not put them with the truth? I mean,
No, I don't think with the
No.
truth.
You want your
I've said it. I say it all the time.
JTG and,
I actually do like JTG.
Ezekiel Jackson.
I do like JTG and Ezekiel Jackson.
you know
with
why
the
Jay
primetime
doesn't
players.
get too much TV time since we're talking about the black people?
Why?
He doesn't dance.
They don't dance no more.
Brodus,
They don't
primetime
dance no
players,
more.
Truth, they all dance.
Kofi doesn't.
Interesting. you are right about that.
Yeah.
They do all dance.
They all dance.
Kofi doesn't. I guess he kind of
Kofi,
does a little
Kofi.
bit. Yeah, that's right. He does a boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
And did you notice the?
No, keep going. This is great, Raven.
Yeah.
Only black people can see Little Jimmy.
Oh, I didn't know.
Not saying anything, but wait.
I didn't know
When
that. I didn't know that anybody could see Little Jimmy.
When Kofi was tagging with Truth, he saw Little Jimmy.
Daniel Bryan did see Little
Hey, did
Jimmy
he
and
punch him?
punted him over the ring.
He's a blue-eyed soul.
But then,
That's
of
what
course, he did yell at him for consoling an invisible child. So.
See? No comment
that's true.
further than this.
Is that?
You're
is
gonna
that
get me in trouble.
does that have something to do with drinking the Kool-Aid?
That would only be in Glendale.
All right.
No.
How about the excitement that next week we have a special episode and edition of Raw? And it's the first
Slammy
It's the
Awards.
first ever Raw Active Slammy Awards, man.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I missed that. Wow.
Slammy Awards are coming back.
My mind is blown.
So is this going to be a completely rigged Raw Active Slammy
I was going to say, as opposed to the other legitimate Slammy Awards.
I know, but
They're not rigged?
well, no, I mean, but that's the way an award usually is. It's there's a committee that picks it, and are they going to actually go by what the fans say, or are they going to just
This is gonna be Twitter.
choose it and they're just going to use Raw Active as a gimmick?
They're going to go with whatever works for storyline.
Yeah. Then why even do the Raw Active thing? You know, if you're not going to make it real, why not? Why even do it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out because they love pushing that they're the most interactive show on television today. But with only 1,000 people tweeting in each week on these various Raw Actives, doesn't seem to be
That's
like
it?
it's one of those things that
We question. We're
everyone's
not really sure what's
questioning. Like
going on.
Twitter will claim that things are tracked a little different, but like there's some sites that track the hashtag battles, and like only like 1,000 people are throwing votes in.
Yeah, I was on Reddit, and earlier later last week when Punk,
Josh, do you know Heimlich maneuver?
Oh, sorry.
I do.
If he can breathe, if he can cough, he can breathe.
Don't
That's
Lawler on us now.
I know.
Oh, and I'm the one who says things in bad taste.
Hey, I could say it though, because
Let's talk. We didn't talk
I
about
had
that last
I
week.
had my heart
Raven
attack.
had a heart attack recently.
Not recently, but August
Well, months
2nd.
ago.
So
August 2nd.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
pretty recent.
yeah, it was recent. So
What happened? What were you doing?
But wait. But this guy,
What were you
Drinking the
doing?
Kool-Aid.
as he's going
There you
into
go.
the hospital to get checked, he's throwing tweets out.
no one would believe me.
And then when he was in the hospital after they went through some stuff, he's throwing stuff from his bed of after party here at the hospital. Just check in as my guest.
Oh my God.
I was at Cedar Sinai. It's like 5,000 a night there. I had to do something to entertain myself. I don't know. I think the best part was that night when I was in the hospital getting a lot of texts and tweets from people in the WWE that, it's amazing how quick the word spread, and just random funny tweets. It's a lot of the text from certain people in the industry was like, "Hey, it's the talent that's supposed to die early, not
Not the production.
not people
Not production.
So, but it was contributed to probably high cholesterol. So, and then what
Get your
just
oatmeal.
So are you following
Every day.
I was gonna say, are you gonna start following a Daniel Bryan vegan diet?
But I went pretty hardcore. I'm not vegan. I would say borderline vegetarian with about one cheat day a week. But it was just weird that, almost exactly a month later, Lawler had his heart attack, and a lot of people that I know that were there that night were like, it was so surreal because they knew me a month ago having a heart attack, and then it's like Lawler's right there, practically in the same thing. Lawler's was just a little bit worse than mine. I never blacked out or anything like Jerry did, but it was just odd. But then I got pissed off because like 3 days later he's tweeting with a Diet Coke and a steak, and I'm like, my doctor's telling me to eat like lettuce, and I'm like, wait a second, look at him. He was like,
Yeah.
so.
I'm contemplating going on a vegan-ish
Oh, yeah.
diet, maybe vegan plus fish.
Yeah, I was thinking about going a vegetarian cleanse up until like the
Go vegan cleanse if you're
Christmas.
just gonna do it as a cleanse.
Yeah.
You'll feel unbelievable. I've done the vegan cleanses. I've gone months of being a vegan before. The only negative about it is you got to prep your meals because like you can't just go quick throw a meal together.
Yeah.
That's the hard part because when you're on the road,
Which is why they said Daniel Bryan stopped.
yeah, when you're on the road and you get out of the arena at 11:15, 11:30 at night, and you're in the middle of America, Omaha, Nebraska, or somewhere, and you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you can't go to Denny's and be like, hey,
Yeah,
let me have a veggie burger.
Yeah, and that's actually Daniel Bryan stopped because he developed a soy allergy.
soy allergy.
Right.
Yeah, everything good in moderation.
But then he also mentioned just
It's very hard to maintain.
hard to maintain, and especially now that
Yeah.
he can't have the soy.
Yeah.
That happens to a lot of women too.
Well,
Have
so-
real big problems with too much soy.
As we change from wrestling to the talk of nutrition,
Yeah,
it
we're
seems
gonna
that
get buzzed here.
well, that's all right. It seems that soy
topic.
actually, it's like 90% of all soy is under the genetically modified category, and it's one of the worst foods
It's
for
almost all
anyone.
GMO.
All right, back to wrestling. Eve versus Alicia, and I don't want to neglect any moment of this matchup or this situation with the Divas because Miss Golden Era on YouTube would be very upset with me if we just passed over the Divas and treated them like they were nothing.
Yep.
This was actually a very good match.
Oh man, and Alicia Fox, good guy this week. Very good.
She had some amazing air on her
Wow.
leapfrog.
That
looked
was
amazing.
an amazing leapfrog.
Yeah.
And then I got to tell you, man, she hit a bridge that I was a fan of.
good.
Real quick.
It looked better than good.
Real quick,
yeah.
technical issues, like getting from the chat, they're saying that they can't see anything.
Interesting. The video feed may have gone down. We'll see if our
No, it isn't.
engineers.
They just can't figure it out.
They just
They're
can't
done.
figure it out. They don't have the plug-in.
I'm
maybe.
just saying, as long as the camera's on me and Jenny,
They
that's
may
all they
need
need
silver
to see.
lights. They may
Is
need.
that all they can see? I mean,
Well, that's
nothing
all they
else
need to
matters,
see.
No, but
really.
I do want to go back to this bridge.
Yeah,
Being an amateur wrestler,
Oh, yeah.
the one thing, it's a pet peeve in pro wrestling when people hit German suplex or anything regarding a bridge. If they have flat feet, it bothers me to no end. Alicia was up on those toes, man. She was putting some leverage into it, trying to get a little bit of extra push. It was fantastic.
Oh, speaking of Alicia Fox, her first gimmick, she was dancing. DJ Gabriel, Alicia Fox,
So the moral of the
ECW.
story is that black people have to dance with this.
I didn't
Is
say
it?
that. That's what Jenny said.
I've also read a thing about stereotypical blacks in Hollywood in movies, that like the successful black actors in Hollywood always dress as women in movies to kind of take their career to the next level.
Are you
Eddie,
saying Tyler Perry's?
Eddie Murphy, Tyler Perry,
Interesting.
Martin Lawrence, and then when Chappelle went on his
yeah.
crazy thing, like that was one of those things. Like he couldn't handle, he didn't want to dress as a woman.
Update on the chat room. They're saying they haven't had the show for 30 minutes since we've been on.
That's terrible. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, and iTunes tonight.
Absolutely.
We can edit out all the.
No, there's no editing. We got a fantastic.
Well, I
brothers
think
going on.
Eve was really good in this match. I
Eve was
thought.
not only good in the match, it all became the new angle that happened after the match.
With the photo.
Eve brought a photographer to the ringside area, actually into the ring, and took some
was fun.
humiliating and embarrassing photos of her fallen opponent.
I love it. Alicia Fox is like, what? She's like all defeated. Like, wait, get the camera away. It's awesome. I love
like
Eve.
it.
Love this.
It works for her character really well. I love that. I hope they keep doing it.
I wish the match was longer.
Yeah, right. It's one of those things that there is.
No, you don't.
Yeah, they
A little bit longer. I
there's
think it would be
no, here-
nice. I mean,
No,
I
I
women's
do
matches
too,
are way
especially-
shorter than the men's, but I mean, come on.
A little bit
Come
longer
on.
if there
At
was
least
someone
a
other
minute.
than Alicia in there.
No,
too.
you keep
going
saying that.
well.
Alicia's one of the top girls they have right now, man.
Yeah, but
Especially when Eve is out
She's
there,
all
she
right.
does that little booty pop thing. It's like an interesting move. No.
Yeah, and one of the best girls
Jenny,
they
do you
have.
do a booty
but
pop?
Not on TV for you right now.
Not on YouTube. Hey, you could get more hits than Psy.
No, I mean honestly, the Divas got a good showing tonight because they
Yeah.
get another match with AJ and Vicky, which not the same. But this was a competitive match. The thing with the time, every time they seem to give them more time in the matches, something usually happens, goes wrong, gets messed up. They come off not looking so good. So the less is more works to their favor. I know it's unfortunate to say, and it's not
But
taking
that's
away
like
from
saying
any of their
women
talent.
can't do it as well as men.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Exactly, I know.
No.
It's kind of.
I'm not saying
Well,
that, nor
you
do
know
I
what,
believe
though?
that. But history on WWE television shows that when they are given that opportunity, they usually don't run with that ball.
But they're not expected to do a match for that long. So I think if it was an expectation and they knew they were going to, they would try harder.
But also, to me, wrestling's a little bit like stand-up comedy. You start with you can do 5 minutes, and then 10, then 15, you can do an hour set. Not everybody can do a 10, 15-minute match.
I'm not talking about that long. But
She just want another minute or so.
another minute
Okay.
or two
Yeah,
at
okay.
least. I mean, that was how long was that match?
usually
It was
like
very
3
It
short.
was probably about 3.
It's about
I think they could do at least 5.
In a 3-hour show, you got a lot to feel. So
No, I hear what you're saying. I got no problem with it. I love it, and I think it seems like there's supposed to be a renewed focus on the division. Supposedly, they sent out a questionnaire to other fans that are in their focus group, asking what they think could be done to improve the Divas division, who they related to back in the day, who they're
Yeah.
and they're trying to make these girls more popular.
I think they're too green. I mean, it's just you have girls that are. Yeah, they're good, but they're not good enough yet to be on television. Would any of them be able to hang in Shimmer? None of them.
But you say that, and I'll get reamed by a lot of diehard fans, man. When I watch a lot of Shimmer matches, while I'm seeing talented girls who absolutely know how to wrestle,
Yes.
the matches are boring, dude.
Yeah,
and not all of them. I mean,
Right.
I don't watch every Shimmer
And
show. But
your typical indie without doing the entertainment angle, and I agree with that, but their wrestling isn't quite up to television standards yet. Some of them are, some aren't.
But I know
that's
a
where
lot
I
of
think
people.
it is.
A lot of people say, and a lot of the dirt sheets say, WWE only hires models and stuff like that. So if that is true,
I don't think that is
That's
true,
not
though,
true.
because AJ
That's
wasn't.
absolutely not true.
AJ out of.
That's true.
No, and especially
But
nowadays.
if that's true, then should the WWE focus more on women from Shimmer and Japan and
I think it's a
Mexico,
mix.
or should they bring in a mix?
you need the balance because you
because
want
if
the
you look,
athleticism and wrestling ability.
I don't know what goes on in people's personal lives, but in the past year, if you look at the amount of divas that have left the company, there's a higher amount. You
Yeah.
have
It is.
Bellas, Maurice,
Beth Phoenix
Beth
taking a walk.
Phoenix, a lot of people are leaving, so you kind of question. But you have people like the Bellas who were, I guess,
Maxine.
you could say were models. You had someone like
Mm-hmm.
Maurice who pretty much studied the industry before she came in, and then you had someone like Beth who was actually a wrestler. So you had all three different types of women leaving the company. So what do the fans really want? Do you want the models or do you want the actual wrestlers?
Yeah.
Because it
You
seems
want
like
the same thing that you want with guys. You want a little bit of this, a
Yeah.
little bit of that, a little bit of this, and you want variety. You want one or two girls who are amazing wrestlers. You want one or two girls who are super hot. You want one or two girls who are amazing on the mic and just crazy personalities. You want that balance, that it's not that the whole division has to be great workers or the whole division has to be models. You want that blend. You want
Yeah.
the melting pot of what's offered.
Okay,
Back in the
but-
day, you had what?
I agree with
Lita,
that.
you had Trish Stratus, Molly Holly, you had those great workers, and you had the Tori Wilsons and the Stacy Keeblers in there that were more the pretty faces.
But remember that Trish Stratus was not a great worker in the beginning. She came
terrible,
in. She came
actually.
in as a pretty face, as a model from Muscle Mag
Trish
International.
was a model that learned the craft.
And she was one of the few who excelled and was able to take her
And at the
career
same
to the
time,
next
they
level.
brought in Lita, who was actually a trained wrestler, who was almost on the same level as Trish, if not equal. In two different
But then
aspects.
didn't have the traditional sexiness, and while she had a great career and was able to go very far, still didn't reach the levels that Trish did.
I think Lita's sexiness came later. Trish
In the
instantly-
edge area, Lita
instantly,
definitely.
Trish was, she was part of a group that was part about sexiness. They
Yeah.
were named TNA.
So let's
And
go.
to me, I think Trish Stratus is one of the things that hurt the Divas division terribly because that was a model they took that couldn't talk, couldn't wrestle, and she became one of the greatest divas of all time. So it's like, well, we can do it with her. Let's go hire fitness models. And it feels like that's where they were looking for their next Trish Stratus.
Bringing up
And she was
TNA,
special.
Test and Albert, it just dawned on me of someone tweeted us. I don't know who it was this week, but they asked. And I'm sorry to go leave tangent of the women real quick, but do you think that WWE could ever do anything with Tensai now? So Tensai being Albert, or did they just botch this opportunity to do something with the big monster on this return, or do you think they can still repackage him to be a credible contender?
I think he can get better once he can find out where to buy more green mist, because he hasn't been whoever.
You're right. He was winning those first few weeks with the mist, and then he did stop.
Whoever his dealer was is no longer around.
Yeah, I don't need. Maybe throw him over to SmackDown or something.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, we saw a match, and it was fantastic. Definitely the Albert or the Tensai we thought we'd see.
Or the Giant Bernard.
Yeah.
Every time you say fantastic, I think you're going to say Fandango.
Fandango, man. What's up with
It's like an obsession with you guys.
Hey, Dirty Curdy, man.
It's an inside
Yeah.
joke.
Wait, 3 weeks, though. No, 3 weeks, no promos, no hype.
I didn't get it either.
I was trying to jump in there.
It's in.
Oh, you were trying to jump, did I just cut you off completely?
Oh no! When you were talking about Fandango, and,
It's
like,
a-
and I was like, yeah, man, yeah, Dirty Curdy. It's like, nah, dude, that's our thing. I'm like, oh.
It's an inside joke. You'll never.
We just got pushed out of that one.
No, you'll never get
Johnny.
pushed away.
Fandango?
Well, no.
Next match.
Mind if I cut
Yeah,
in?
we should move on.
All right, we went to a promo with CM Punk, who came limping out. I think he had some crutches.
He was on crutches, yeah.
Had Heyman holding the championship belt.
300 and how many days?
88, 388.
And people think he should be stripped of that title because he's faking a knee injury.
Yeah, and he said that this injury is most definitely legitimate. There's nothing phony about it.
It looked legit. His knee was pretty
Yeah,
swollen.
it is legit.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to think in my mind that it wasn't.
Yeah, he had surgery with Andrews. I've seen the footage of them pulling him out last week.
James Andrews, and I believe he's in Arkansas. It's a weird
It
place.
was, and then I kept hearing them say something about Florida, so maybe he's moved.
Maybe Andrew's moved his practice. Because I was just to think that for like a top orthopedic surgeon, like to be in Arkansas, it just seems kind of weird.
Is it Arkansas or Alabama?
A lot of sports.
Oh, Alabama,
It was
correct.
Alabama. A lot of sports teams down there, though. Athletes live down there, so you know.
That's true.
Sorry.
Make all your
Alabama. It's Alabama, not Arkansas. Yeah.
sweet home Alabama.
Yeah,
Alright.
somebody spammed the WWE poll online about whether he should be stripped of his title or not. It was like at 55-45 in favor of him keeping his title and saving him for Royal Rumble. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it shot up to like 79 to 19%.
Conspiracy.
I was just gonna say, do you think that's someone spamming, or do you think it's a conspiracy?
I think it might be.
It's conspiracy, buddy. It is.
I think it's Brock Lesnar just sitting at home watching Raw and tweeting.
He's got nothing better to do.
Oh, what else is he doing?
I'm sure Brock watches every Raw, every single minute of every show.
Him and Sable sitting there on the couch eating some popcorn, critiquing it.
Do you think Brock Lesnar knows who the primetime players are?
I don't think Brock Lesnar has a TV, man.
He probably doesn't. He likes to just hunt and hang out on his farm with his friends and his family.
Ranch in Minnesota, yeah.
Can't really blame
Jenny
him.
reminds me of Sable a little bit.
A little bit. She got a little Sable thing going.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Brock Lesnar's wife, Rena
worry.
Mero, she was a
She's cute.
superstar for
Better
WWE,
looking,
huge women's champion, one of the top-selling Playboy
See,
cover issues ever.
The first
Sorry,
diva
I'm a little new
I think
to
she's the
the,
first diva to ever
WWE
pose for
fandom.
Playboy.
First diva to
He's
pose
just
for
going on
Playboy.
a rant,
Yeah. So
Just keeps talking about nothing.
Amen.
You tell me I'm on a tangent?
Huh?
I'm on a tangent?
Talking about your mood rings. I can see the color change.
I
from
haven't
here.
talked about mood rings in a while.
Said Cara color change.
We got a bet. We had a great one of our triple main events came up next.
Ziggler and Sheamus.
Ziggler and Sheamus.
Sheamus.
The mighty Sheamus. So, I had some comments. Sheamus.
Ziggler with the wraps around his
Right in his thigh.
Yeah, around his thigh.
Upper thigh, yeah.
That's from getting crotched on the ring rope
Sounds so painful.
from the top of a ladder.
Yeah, good match. I love that big later on, but that big X factor off the top rope that Ziggler hit on him.
Yeah,
Very
Sheamus
cool move.
felt, real solid, like a bag of rocks.
So I know WWE is interested in trying to increase their female demographic on their shows. And I got a comment from Kathy, one of our people here at AfterBuzz, who was watching the show with us. And she said that she's bored by Sheamus and just doesn't like the shtick and the character.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with her.
Wow, that must hurt.
I like Sheamus, but it's getting a little bit old. They need to shake him, spice him up a little bit somehow.
Do you
It's
think-
getting a bit stale.
I don't know. The way you look at it, it looks like they're kind of grooming him to be the next Cena.
Definitely.
The comedy.
Which brings up a question on Twitter from Yes D-Log, who wants to know who we think will be the face of the company in the next 5 years.
Antonio Cesaro.
He's potentially on that list, but
Yeah.
he's still he's going to be big for WWE, but he still doesn't bring the mainstream press and publicity. He still doesn't have that part of his persona
But
worked
he's
out
only
yet.
been there about a year.
No, sure, he's young and he'll be groomed for those
And he
things,
can speak 5 different languages to do
which
5
does help
different,
with international PR. Sure.
interviews in 5 different languages.
The word's still out on, I think, on Ryback's personality, but I mean, he possibly, the fans are loving him. He could be. I used to think it was going to be Sheamus, but there's some other people vying for that position now.
Yeah.
I bet Ryback right now is making Sheamus real nervous. Because, I mean, I guess the kids love Sheamus, I know. But it's just like, man, he was so good, like, when he was first starting out, like 2 years ago. I mean, I loved it. He was like
when he was a heel?
Yeah,
It was awesome.
great heel.
TLC 2 years ago, and he threw Cena through the table. Won the
Yeah.
title. That was great. So, but I agree with you on Ryback. Just from tonight, the way the building was shaking at the end of the show, feed me more. I mean, they have gotten that quote over so quickly to everyone around the country, and it's like, you can go to city and hear Cena sucks. You can get a few boos for Sheamus. Right now, Ryback's on fire. Ryback's on fire. And it's going to be really interesting with Raw coming up in Vegas in January, his hometown, to see what type of reaction he gets.
Gonna be
And yet
poppin'.
all of the wrestling critics and dirt sheet writers were ripping on the Feed Me More chant for months, and how they felt like, well, no wrestler has to get people to chant it by saying it, and it usually just happens naturally.
Well, now
They
all
did
he
a
has
great
to
job.
do is just do this with his shoulder. Just move it a little bit, and the fans go crazy and start chanting.
Yeah, we had a great match though between Sheamus and Ziggler. A pretty strong showing between the two. Solid.
Yeah.
And then we got our DQ.
Look at Josh. You look so.
That was a great match.
There was something creepy about the way you just said that.
Yeah.
You're like, solid. Yeah.
Well, it's going. You know, I love seeing
he's
Ziggler's
a
my
fan.
homeboy right now, and he took Sheamus out with that chair, and then the bro kick came, and Ziggler's so athletic and good, man. He moved right out of the way and let the chair take the whole hit, and he was able to sneak out. You first thought, oh, Ziggler is no selling the bro kick to the chair, but
You got his face
he's just
away.
good. He's just good.
Yeah, and we got a DQ.
Ziggler's amazing right now. He's
Yeah.
definitely the 2000 era of Kurt Hennig.
I agree.
Yes, D-Log, who has the Ziggler stealing the show as his avatar.
That's my homeboy.
That's your homeboy.
That was going to be my
Listen to-
fan
whoa,
shout out.
Whoa.
Listening-
You just said Ziggler was your homeboy.
Yeah, I
Now
got
you're
two.
saying this guy's your homeboy.
He's wearing Ziggler's shirt.
Wait,
He
wait,
got one.
How many
wait,
homeboys do you have?
Represent. I got
Wait,
a few.
wait, listen, because he just wanted Josh and me to know that listening to us is like Christmas coming early.
Uh-oh.
I love that.
That's what it says right there. It's fantastic.
I don't know what language I can use on the show, so I won't say anything.
Yeah, I was thinking something
twice this
too.
year.
I was thinking of another analogy to use for that, but I can't say it either.
Must be this couch.
Maybe it's it.
Oh, is that what this is?
After,
Yeah, it might be
So we had a
yes, you, Lou.
DQ,
Come on.
though.
yeah.
It was a DQ.
DQ finish.
On it, so keep both guys strong.
Super
Don't,
X Factor was fantastic. Ziggler jumping up, racing up the top rope, hitting a huge X Factor on Sheamus off the top. Sheamus looked like he dove his head right into the canvas.
He
Good-
used
good
that,
for him.
Didn't he use that at the Survivor Series or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a new
super
move
move.
in Ziggler's
Repertoire.
You know, something to give THQ to do for the next WWE 14 game.
That is if THQ maintains the license and stays in business.
No comment about that right now. I have friends at THQ. I can't comment on anything. But Ziggler, good job. You know, finally he has. I think he's getting his time.
This could be a show-stealing performance once again at the pay-per-view. He has his chance against the Golden Boy,
I
John
think he
Cena.
will. I think he'll. You know, it's a ladder match. He'll
Ladder's involved.
do something crazy. You know, not Jeff Hardy crazy, but enough. You know,
Yeah.
to get what's needed.
Get that one big bump in.
Yeah, Ziggler doesn't need to do crazy stuff to get over like that. Ziggler just sells like a champ.
He
and
just
gets
lands on
over.
his head and was
He
like,
does
how does he
crazy
land
big
in that
bumps.
position? You know.
Yeah. From that great match, we go backstage to Vicky, who's in back with the great Khali and Hornswoggle.
And Khali looking at people off camera.
Yeah, he caught that.
Yeah, notice,
he's looking
notice
at
the
us
little
like,
production cue. His eyes bugged out.
Kapoor.
So
There-
awkward.
Not only that, I mean, the stretch they were in was a little awkward,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle really
Looked a
low on the
little-
leg stretch, getting
give it a little-
getting
Well,
in.
he's low. I mean, what are you going to do?
I know, but he's
Yeah.
creeping in there, it looks like.
We
Maybe
got,
he was excited.
It looks like he was trying to take a trip into the birth canal.
and I guess,
Jesus.
and with Khali on here is a good time to promote 6 to Nix.
I mean, we'll get to that next week. But apparently, Ryan has a feeling that Khali should be fired from WWE or something like that, I guess. 6 to Nix, WWE, hashtag WWE 6 to Nix coming next week. Awkward segment. All this stuff with Vicky for a few weeks now. We went on a roll. Vicky was doing good about a month ago. We were enjoying her segments. And these last few weeks, the Vince interaction, these skits, not for me.
They're just
Yeah.
getting annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've stuck her in this weird, not even general manager, whatever the position is. It's just, yeah.
But we can't deal with annoying anymore because annoying does make people turn the channel, and we're trying to get people to turn it back on, not
Yeah.
turn it off.
She almost needs to be not repackaged, but kind of refocused, I think, somewhere else.
Refocused.
You like that?
Huh. Very poignant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, rack focused.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No, that was just a camera move.
That's a rack
okay.
focus. No,
Okay.
a rack focus is
Changing
where.
the foreground and the background.
Or if you have
Focus
like
of
two people,
attention.
yeah. It's like you're on the guy and then you focus on the person in the background looking at him weird. That's a rack focus.
Right.
Which they did in one of those weird David Otunga that segment
They
a
did
few
the
months
courtroom
back.
segment.
The courtroom or the
There was.
yeah the lawyers
the
arguing.
deposition. The deposition.
Yeah, they were doing rack focuses.
All right, now we go to a moment that was on SmackDown this week. Promo. Shield promo. Could be one of the best promos WWE's done in a long time. This thing was produced well. It was written incredibly well.
Felt like a
delivered-
modern day NWO promo.
Yeah, right.
Very cool.
I was very high up on it. I thought it was awesome.
All three guys did an excellent job. I mean, Seth Rollins looked a million.
And
million
Seth
bucks
Rollins, are you going to apologize to Seth Rollins?
I don't need to apologize, but I will say that Seth Rollins came off strong, confident, competent, charismatic. Maybe I will eat my words. I didn't like his confidence the last few weeks. I didn't like his body language, the way he looked insecure, hugging himself with his little crossed arms. No, he came off strong in this promo. Ambrose comes off as just, he's such a superstar.
Genius.
And Reigns is dope, man. He looks good, and he seems like he's the big bruiser.
Yeah, and I love, the jump cuts in there a little bit. With that, and I like the throwing the lower thirds in their names,
changing the little name tag, simple graphics, very different than the WWE graphic
Almost
style.
like a found footage type.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It
a
was
lot.
cool.
That's actually true. It almost makes you think of some of these movies that are coming out. What's Chronicle and stuff like that. It definitely had a feel of that. It was very cool.
You'll actually get to see, all you listeners will get to see our version of that kind of promo later on this week. We'll be throwing up something on YouTube.
right.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
A little
around with a little bit.
Shield parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the sword. Bring the tables, bring the ladders, bring the chairs. Ambrose.
So based on your excitement after SmackDown, you tweeted me that you seem to think that the bring the sword is a reference to another person being brought into the group.
I don't know, but that's what I like.
Brock.
Online, we were always saying, like Brock's got the sword on his chest, but
I didn't think about the Brock
I didn't
sword
even
on his
think
chest.
about that.
Look at Superfan pulling some.
it's on my only hope.
And look at Raven's got a little glimmer in his
Raven,
eye right
you're
there.
making me
The
happy.
truth is scary, Raven Travis Berry.
Oh man,
I just like his ideas.
It's a good idea.
Thank you,
I've
Raven.
heard that
Thank you
before.
for making me feel good, because I hope that happens, man. That'd be awesome.
Brock, what's happening? So you think Brock's going to show up at this pay-per-view to set up a little? You think this is going to set up the road to Brock's WrestleMania?
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't see Brock going to New York this time of year.
Too cold for him.
cold. Well, not
Well, he
cold.
likes
He's-
cold. He likes the
he's
cold.
like-
He's a farm boy. Likes the
Yeah.
cold.
Too many people.
Too
in
much
Brooklyn.
travel.
Yeah.
I think this might be a little early for Brock to come back. Maybe Rumble.
thinking the
Maybe
Rumble?
Rumble is the
Actually,
next time we're going to see
I
him.
actually have a question for you guys because I heard you guys talking about this earlier. Not to go off topic real quick, but who cares if I do? The Rolling Stones concert is this Saturday,
Produced by WWE.
produced by WWE, and I heard you guys asking like, how many people do you think would buy it? My question is, do you think WWE fans will purchase this Rolling
Because-
Stone concert?
It's only people they're marketing it to. It feels
But
like.
the day after, there's a WWE pay-per-view. Rolling Stones is $40. TLC is $40. So
Didn't even think about that.
if they did it as a package, buy one, get the other for half, or, people are going to spend $80 this weekend. Saturday night's a Rolling Stone. Saturday night is also a big UFC event for free. So
UFC's been UFC's
is it that big
dwindling and
event?
losing its popularity slowly again.
Yeah.
So from something that peaked this last year and a half, 2 years, they're having a hard time maintaining themselves.
And they just had their big Fox event this last
and
weekend.
the ratings were pretty good.
But what's the next? Do they have a pay-per-view coming up?
No, this one is on
Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter.
Oh,
Oh, the
Ultimate Fighter
finale. The finale. That's right.
So-
but even that
That doesn't do huge numbers.
yeah, and I was gonna say in that match got changed too with the coaches. I think there was an injury.
going against the Rolling Stones concert for $40,
That's true.
for the people. against
Different
it.
crowds. I know that they're throwing.
But that's
throwing.
who they're marketing it towards.
Nah, we're seeing it because it's in their thing. So it's in their library.
Have you seen the commercials anywhere else?
All right.
I have not seen it anywhere
Okay,
other than
but
wrestling.
then factor out the UFC event. Rolling Stones the night before a WWE pay-per-view. You're marketing to the same crowd.
and that's the thing. Take the UFC
I
out.
still don't
That's
think
where
you're
I
marketing
think the
to the
problem
same
is.
crowd. I realize that they're running commercials on Raw because they're just pushing their product, and it doesn't hurt them to throw a 30-second commercial
agree.
in. But I don't know if they're running advertisements
haven't seen
anywhere.
it.
I don't know if they got ads out in the trades. I don't know if they're taking ads out in USA Today. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of buys they do. I don't know,
Yeah.
50,000 people? Do you think 50,000 buys? Do you think 250,000 buys? Which range do you think you're going to be in?
I don't know. 50,000. That's like a TNA pay-per-view, right?
That's
They
better
do
than a
some-
TNA
What?
pay-per-view most of the time.
What number did you say?
I said like
50,000.
50,000.
50,000. TNA does 8.
Do they really? Is it that
8,000.
low?
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo! TNA.
Not
They need to go to 4 pay-per-views a year. if
Most
that's it.
WWE pay-per-views, if it's not one of the major shows, is about 150,000 or
Yeah.
so, 110,000 in that
Yeah,
range.
that's still a lot, though.
Sure, but I think most people would expect those numbers to be just 10 times.
Not when
that.
you
I don't know.
have 12 a
do
year.
people sit at home on Saturday night and is like, I need to order concert on pay-per-view.
I wouldn't.
No, but I think it's a gimmick. It's not meant for someone in a younger demographic. It's definitely meant for the baby boomers who are sitting there at home and have nothing to do on a Saturday night. They don't want to go out to the movies, and they have no issue, no problem hitting the order button on the pay-per-view and sending that bill to their bill.
My question is WWE the right demographic to go after, to use that marketing
I think WWE is being used because they are the masters of pay-per-view distribution and production. They can put together a production and make sure that the timing is right, the production cues are right. They're the kings of their game.
Now, what if Rolling Stones pay-per-view beats TLC?
Now that's going to make some heads roll. I think heads would be rolling at Titan if that's the case. You know, we were talking about Brock Lesnar. I got Gaurav 9 Kumar who wanted to ask. Do we think, or his opinion is, he thinks that Lesnar is going to cost Rock at the Rumble and set up Brock versus Rock.
I think that could happen.
I'd like to see Brock versus Rock. I'd be okay with that.
But that's the way they've been marketing the most recent WrestleMania banners online and stuff. Is just them two. It used to be them two and Cena.
I have no interest in seeing Rock versus Cena 2. I want to see Brock versus Rock or Ryback versus Brock or Ryback.
What if Rock Cena 2 was title for title?
It definitely makes it more intriguing, and it would definitely make it more exciting to me.
But I don't know if that is exciting to me as the big main event again.
But Rock beat him pretty convincingly last year, you know. It's
in Miami.
Wow. Oh, we're gonna. Where does Cena have?
If this was in Boston, maybe then. But yeah, this isn't in Boston.
Close enough though.
Yeah.
Hour away.
But it's the big rival city of Boston.
I know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I know.
I'm a Yankees fan that went to college in Boston.
Ooh, rough.
That was rough. Yeah.
Got a couple more matches to get through. Alberto Del Rio took on Zack Ryder, coming out to the ring in his BMW M6, worth $125,000.
Ricardo Rodriguez with the 8.6 second Del Rio name.
8.6 seconds.
8.6
and no Rosa Mendez at all this week, right?
Not involved in storyline. She was out with Epico and Primo for the tag team match.
That's right.
But no actual tie to that story.
A lot of that stuff now they're doing on the YouTube channel. A lot of the extra angles, because people remember a few weeks ago they were doing Natalya had a crush on Khali, and that started on TV, but it's still going on YouTube. But no, it was good to see Ricardo back out there. He is the king of catering, and once again, if you follow me on Twitter, I will tell you the whole story about that.
Catering.
Yes, king of catering. At RRWWE is his Twitter name, and you can tweet him. Say, why does Raven say you're the king of catering?
Oh, that's funny.
Sucks being a wrestler and then having to deal with the sweets that are out at catering, man. I'm such a cookie fanatic.
You've seen the catering.
I'm not as into the hot food and the mass-produced catered hot food, but when you got plates and plates of fresh brownies and cookies,
nothing better.
Warm chocolate chip cookies.
That's the greatest thing ever.
I can't resist.
When I was in college, we had a place that used to deliver 16 hot, fresh cookies and a quart of milk or a pint of ice cream. It's the best.
Awesome.
Dan's Dozen. Order a Dan's Dozen. Yeah.
Tighten you right up.
As my vest gets tighter and tighter again. It's all right. I'll just shave the abs in even deeper.
Dan's Dozen.
Dan's Dozen, man.
Sounds like Five Guys, but that's a different story.
I had Five Guys up in Simi a couple weeks ago.
Did you?
Sure you did.
Oh, come on now, Raven. It's a burger and fry place, people. It's a burger and fry
You set
place.
yourself up for that one.
I did walk right into that. Right in. Man, triple main event happens. AJ versus Vicky Guerrero, and apparently we got a special guest.
We didn't really talk about the match.
Oh, let's go back to Del Rio and Zach. You're right. It was a fantastic match.
Are we just going to talk about the entrance and that's it? Come on, man.
Nice car. Yeah.
Nice car. Moving on.
It actually was a great match.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Del Rio does that little kick off the ropes, and he did it to his back.
He was solid.
Yeah, right. Nice solid shot to the back.
Yeah, enziguri to the back. And he did one to the arm, too, working on the arm.
I love that.
We talk about that every week. That Del Rio's that one guy on the WWE roster who always focuses his whole offensive attack in every match to set up for the finishing maneuver, always targeting the arm.
Hey, when the arm bar is your finisher, you have to focus on it.
And there was a match recently where he targeted I think it was against Kane or somebody where he targeted the legs to take the big guy down and then targeted the arm afterwards. It's awesome. The guy's amazing.
It's awesome.
Talented individual.
His strategy.
He needs Rosa.
I agree.
I like it better when she's there.
Yeah, wait for like AJ and Cena to finally be done, and then you can have them fill in that void.
I want my telenovela.
It's about time.
I agree.
Yeah, right?
Can you do some like telenovela
That
type
would be awesome
vignettes
to,
with them?
to produce the soap opera style segments with them.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
I don't think it's too far-fetched.
I
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that something was brought up in a creative meeting. I would think they would have.
Very entertaining,
Yeah.
and then just the random people that would show up and be involved in something.
That would be
Right,
so
because
awesome.
they have tried to, as we were talking before, which
Ricardo's
I didn't
grandmother?
like when they did the Sheamus Otunga deposition
Yeah, you
courtroom
didn't like
thing.
that.
I didn't like that, but do something like that with the telenovela thing.
And it's different.
I think it might be different. It might be cool. Yeah, do some vignettes with that. I like that idea.
Long lost fact: Ricardo was actually on.
Corazon.
Yeah, those 12 Corazons.
I was on 12 Corazones twice.
Listen to that
Didn't-
accent
didn't-
from Jenny
didn't
Allford
he,
over there.
Yeah.
Wow, that was authentic sounding.
It is
Didn't Ricardo
authentic.
do?
It is.
Didn't Ricardo do some extra work in porn as
No.
well?
I don't know what you're
No.
talking about. Let's not
No, he
discuss.
didn't.
Not discussed. That seems blasphemous and potentially slanderous.
I swear I read something, but okay.
Make sure your attorney's on speed dial.
Don't
All right,
believe
I don't
the
have one,
internet.
so.
But he was on 12 Corazons. That was pretty funny.
That show's hilarious.
I've never actually seen it.
You haven't?
I've seen some clips, but never actually to sit and watch more than 12 seconds, I'd say.
Spanish dating show.
I don't speak any Spanish.
All the guys look like Cody Rhodes on there with the little mustache.
Let's go back to Cody's mustache. The left side of it, like,
Horrible.
it wasn't really growing in all the way.
I think
So
he's going through puberty, like he's 13 or something.
he needs to get like that topic stuff or
Embarrassing.
that stuff that for like balding dudes that like sprinkle those fibers
Or
on their
just give
head
up and
just like
shave it.
sprinkle it on his lip and try to fill it in so it looks a little more complete.
I think
Oh,
Evan
that's
Bourne should come back
horrible,
with a mustache too.
That would be Evan and Cody always look so similar. Like one's the tall version, one's the short version. Yeah, Evan Bourne coming back with a little dirt stash could be nice, and they can be the team of, yeah.
So we have AJ, and we're running out of time, man. I'm trying to keep this going.
Oh, wow. 9:45.
AJ and Vicky with Brad Maddox
Bragg Maddox.
Maddox.
as the referee. This was
That match was too long.
It
The
wa-
other one
it
should've
wasn't
been
a match.
longer.
it was garbage.
It was
walked
all
around.
storyline. Yeah.
Yeah, and AJ freaked out after she, Brad Maddox, and it caused her to lose the match.
Yeah.
She's freaking out. No one's in it. They're just like, okay.
And
we've seen
one thing I want to say too that we didn't talk about before is when she went in the locker room, Cena's reaction to "I'm sorry," like. I guess, I don't know if a lot of people realize, but that's a big deal. You don't just walk into the locker room. That's like hallowed ground. Nobody's allowed in the locker room, I believe, right? Except wrestlers and trainers. Is that the rule, I think, back there?
Depends what city you're in.
Okay. But usually that's the way it's supposed to work. But that's the way it's supposed to work, right? It's wrestlers and trainers only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crew, whatever.
So,
Yeah, this is the second
you can't
time
just
she's
walk
done
back
it.
there.
Yeah.
This is the second time
She marches to the beat of her own
I
drummer,
had
Josh.
somebody do that to me in a show this weekend, and I'm trying to do some damage control because a friend of mine didn't like the way I reacted when he tapped me on the shoulder 10 minutes before I was about to walk out in a match, walked into the locker room. It's not something you do.
Marquez would flip out.
Oh, yeah.
Flip out.
Name drop for the day.
No one knows who that is, though.
I'll just say Kevin Kleinrock.
No one knows who that is.
I had to
though,
drop
but
some
that's a
names
nice
today.
little thing. Now we got a little plugs for some friends of ours. And all right, we got two more matches to lead off this broadcast tonight, and this next one was actually probably the match of the night: Kofi Kingston versus Antonio Cesaro.
Hands down match of the night.
He did it twice today.
And then he did, U.S. champion.
No, United States.
Yeah, that's right.
champion.
Yeah, I like that.
He's going to be doing it in his house tonight.
He's
This
awesome.
guy's, every time I see him, he's just so
awesome.
impressive. Yeah.
He is.
I think the move of the night was Kofi doing the moonsault and Cesaro catching him in midair.
Yeah, crossbody.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
And then did he do a European uppercut to the back,
To the
back of his
back
head.
of the head, which was
Donkey
really
punch.
cool.
Yes.
Like he does so many innovative little things. Like even with that European uppercut, he throws it in so many different ways.
I like that we didn't see all of the same moves we've seen, so we didn't see the torture rack bomb this week.
That's true.
Which means that Cesaro's arsenal of attack is so diverse, so versatile. This is the guy that
Leave him wanting more.
When casual wrestling fans watch this guy, they comment that, holy cow, I can't believe how intense and how tough this is. So real, the impact he makes with his moves. He's a powerhouse. Cesaro could be one of those faces to, the top face of the company in
Bright
5 years.
future.
Absolutely. He's so good.
And then one thing I love watching the show with you guys, like guys from the biz, is that y'all catch things that I would never as a fan catch. And that's like the cameraman was giving the ref and Kofi and everybody like a signal hitting the apron.
Truth is Scary over there pointed that out.
I know. I was like, oh, it's cool, Oh,
it is. Truth is
Learn a
scary
lot.
when you learn that, isn't it?
yeah.
See, there's a
That's
reason
why
for that
I think.
nickname.
It's a lot of things in pro wrestling.
Blow my mind.
Once you learn the aspects of television, that's what WWE teaches. Like when you go down to Tampa, everyone thinks, oh, they're going to teach me how to wrestle again. Yeah, they teach you their style, but WWE style of wrestling is actually how to wrestle a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You learn camera angles.
Cameras 10 and 2.
My biggest pet peeve to all these wrestling schools around, mainly California, is they don't teach the kids how to do, wrestle for the camera. They don't teach them how to face the hard cam. Still to this day, I shot at a local wrestling show last week. 98% of the roster there figured out the hard cam aspect, but the 2% that didn't, who should have known about the hard cam, did not face the hard cam when they came out. So it's like when their entrance comes out, their back is to the hard cam. And if you're two cameramen on this or on this side and your hard cam's here and your back is this way, your entrance, you don't get, no one sees your face.
Yeah.
WWE, they're especially in Tampa, that's what they teach is hard camera angles.
Camera awareness, being sure that you're making a facial expression for every significant move, that the cameras are there to capture your face. They hate front face locks. They'd prefer to have a rear chin lock so that way your face is up into the camera, eyes are exposed, people can see what you're feeling, feel the emotion.
And it's not just WWE, it's the other products that are on TV, but mainly, obviously, WWE. But it's just, that's something that every wrestler who's trying to train right now should focus on a lot. Yeah, you can learn how to, do your little backflips and whatever else you want to do in the ring, but, learn how to cut a promo and learn how to work the camera.
See, this is like, like when I watch those old YouTube videos, like old WCW with the Horsemen and stuff, and like Michael Hayes or Ronnie Garvin will come out there and they got their back to the camera like, Ric Flair, blah, 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 and it's like, just... but they only have like one camera like there.
Yeah, back then it was different. You know,
so different.
Exactly. They had like 1 or 2 cameras. Now there's 12 cameras in the
whole
arena.
different art form.
Different world.
And back then it was kind of more real. You felt like you were Ronnie Garvin walking up to Ric Flair and about to call him out. Here it's like, you have to go through a 15-minute promo to call someone out.
Yeah.
3 hours later in the show.
Exactly.
Miz TV was set up on the stage. I thought when it was set up on the stage, we may get an appearance from the Muppets as our social media ambassador. But we only got 2 little tweets from them. No Muppet appearance.
I think social media ambassadors are only at home.
I think so, but at the same time, you had Muppets on Tribute to the Troops coming up. Everyone likes the Muppets when they're on WWE.
It costs a lot to travel. They want first class and stuff.
And they got
they send a tout out or something.
It's a huge crew though, because it's 2 people for every Muppet.
Oh wow.
Because you got the puppeteer and the left hand.
Yeah.
Was Elmo at Tribute to the Troops?
Hey,
and that's like kid G-related stuff, and what he said at the end was like not kosher for Muppets, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, what was the quote that?
The pink and the stink.
The pink and the.
So not cool.
Jenny was offended.
I did not like that at all.
What did he?
Look at Josh.
Do you think that was
move?
Do you think that was written?
Josh wants it on a T-shirt for next week.
He probably would be wearing it too.
What did he mean by that?
Do you think that was written
I don't know. I see
or
people
improv?
I think it was written, and I think Miz is in this weird zone because they're trying to make him face, and he's so not. He just comes off so smarmy and.
Yeah, I don't want him to be like. It was great those first few weeks, leading into Survivor Series. Like I like middle ground. I like that gray area. I don't want him to go completely. What do y'all call it, tweenie or whatever? Yeah, I don't like that. I want him to be like just a jerk. Everyone in like high school and middle school, you always had that jerk that it was fun as long as he didn't make fun of you. It was great watching him make fun of other people, and that's what I think Miz could stick into.
He's so great at it because for the people who saw him on the real world, he was a jerk.
Yeah.
And when he came into the WWE in the whole Tough Enough thing, like people hated him.
And then his promo style was all just a straight rock ripoff.
And then it was like, when they teamed him with Morrison, I mean, they were the jerks. Miz and Morrison were the jerks of the company. But it's like you wanted to see them get their asses kicked each week, so you tuned in to watch it. But they were so great. They kept winning and winning the tag titles and so on. Then they broke up and.
Yeah, and let Miz be a jerk towards heels. You know, but not like be like, oh, to the adoration of fans. Like, he could still enjoy being cheered if people are gonna like cheer something he says, but I don't need him like kissing the crowd's ass either.
So kind of like a Roddy Piper.
Yeah, maybe Ambrose will take care of that for me later. You know.
You got a big pop on the Manny Pacquiao mention.
Yeah, what was that?
Huge pop. That was.
It was an ooh.
That was a Road Warrior pop.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah.
I like the suit he was wearing, but I didn't think it really matched
Colonel
the
Sanders?
season. Well, he's rocking a Hampton summer style suit in the middle of winter in New York City. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It was Jersey.
And we should mention, I guess he was trying to get in the heads of the Rhodes Scholars as well.
But the Rhodes Scholars are shining
trying to
beacons of light.
basically say that Antonio, or that, not Cesaro, that Sandow is going around trying to say that he's basically the guy carrying the team.
But luckily,
Talking
Sandow's
trash.
way more intelligent than The Miz, and you know they got past that.
Yes, and stated that in the sea of Neanderthals, they are in fact a revelation.
Oh, it was Jersey. Trust me, I've been there. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Miz
As
threw
have
a
I.
mustache line with Cody Rhodes. I must ask you a question.
I must ask you a question.
That was pretty funny. I thought that one was a well-written little joke. Mm-hmm. And that was that. There was really no purpose to the segment because it went nowhere.
Yeah.
They just walked off stage and it ended.
Yeah.
I think
Not really sure the
honestly,
point of it.
Kind of pointless.
I think the segment was to build up, Miz to get his line out about the
Pink
name
and
of
the Stink.
the name of the tag team.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at it, that's what it all built up to.
Yeah,
Once he
that's
said
true.
it, the whole segment was over.
Yeah.
You think someone said that in the back and Vince just loved it and said, let's roll
I mean,
with
that's
Pink and the
definitely
Stink?
Vince humor.
It sounds like, yeah.
That sounds like what Vince likes.
Yeah.
Now, is a segment like that completely written,
It's
or is it?
10:45.
What is that?
That's what Vince would say.
Oh, Vince.
We're all looking like, what? We got
We're all ready?
No, I would think that it's pretty scripted. I mean, I would
so.
think they also may give. I think Miz probably has a little freedom to talk.
Depends on the guy, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it's a full script, but I would think that line was definitely predetermined.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't fake; it was predetermined.
the you can kind of tell because when the audience was chanting something, they kept going on with the promo. They didn't stop and acknowledge the audience. I think the audience was chanting like Cody's mustache.
Cody's mustache.
They were chanting it loud, but Miz kept going on. So it was kind of like he had to remember what he.
Yeah.
You had to stay on script, yeah. Okay. I was wondering that because
makes a good point.
I always try to keep myself from marking out too much, especially around you guys.
You can
'cause
be a mark.
Y'all could be like, oh, Josh.
No,
I love when people mark out. It makes it more fun.
So yeah, when like Cody was saying there's like mean things to Miz about being irrelevant nowadays, I'm like, oh, that would hurt me right here,
Down deep.
If someone was saying that down deep, I would not like that.
Yeah.
So if it's all scripted and Miz is like, cool,
It's kind of like if they asked me to dance.
You'd be insulted.
But would you do it?
like, Raymond, can you dance for us?
You'd be like CeeLo
you
in the
would.
Goody Mob. You'd be like, we don't dance no more.
I'd be like,
we
how
don't
much you want me to
dance no
dance
more.
for?
The Miz TV ended. We got a little segment showing that the pre-show pay-per-view match is going to be the #1 contenders, Divas Santa's Little Helper Battle Royal. So Miss Golden Era is going to be happy to know that we got some women's wrestling for free right before the pay-per-view on YouTube.
Holla!
Lots of girls in the ring, Battle Royal style.
Yeah.
WWE Women's Battle Royal under the bottom rope style or under
Or
the
it's
top
over
rope.
the second rope or
Yeah.
whatever.
A lot of women's fights you can find on YouTube. Just saying.
In the final match of the evening, Cena and Big Show with Dolph on commentary. Mm-hmm. All just to set up the fact that...
And let's not forget, AJ before wanted to come out with Cena.
I did forget.
And Cena said, nah, how about you hang back here and watch and I'll go out by myself. It looks like Cena is getting a little fed up with, what we've seen a lot of people, like clingy, crazy AJ starts running into these guys and being a little clingy, and they run.
Did we skip over that?
We skipped over her snapping. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
She tossed over the ladder through.
Oh, yeah.
The high-pitched screaming was so annoying.
Yeah, the aggression, the throwing, the stuff, I liked.
I like that too. The
She
chair,
slapped,
she was
Justin
smacking.
Roberts.
Yeah,
She
I
did smack
liked
Justin
it when
Roberts.
She hit him.
That was a good slap.
It's just the whining.
Caught his ear,
It's
it
so
looked like.
Whiny.
It's the why I think people would appreciate the snapping and the whole thing. If she's not
The
Vicky
whining
Guerrero,
wasn't
we don't
involved.
need annoying whine. We
Yeah.
don't need the screech.
Who else used to snap? Was it Mickey James when she first came
Mickey
in?
James had a little crazy.
Yeah.
Remember when Mickey James did the old gesture in her match with Trish?
Oh, what was the gesture?
That
She
was
did a little tongue between the fingers.
the little pink in his-
yeah.
That was some pink in this.
Oh,
thing.
She had Trish set up inverted in her face, and then she gave like a little.
She's from my hometown, Richmond, Virginia.
And then they cut it out of the
If
DVDs
you ever
of the
watch
match.
any, if you watch any of the footage now, that part is cut out.
Cut out.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
You're from Richmond?
I remember popping when it happened though. It was crazy.
sorry.
You're like, oh my God, how'd she?
I'm
How
from
did
the country, way away.
we don't
from
care where you're from. We got a little bit more to
Mickey
get
James
through.
is from
Yeah.
there.
I like Mickey.
Dirty
Pretty
girl.
good match for the main event here.
Worked with Mickey in TNA.
Yeah.
She's a very nice girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can't catch the bus on time, right?
What?
That's what I heard.
That's what he heard.
I'm just saying.
Truth is scary.
I have a Mickey story, but maybe next week.
Yeah, I think we're
So,
running out of time here.
Cena and Big Show.
Cena and Big Show, in the end, this was all pretty obvious that it was to telegraph the fact that you're going to get a Shield invasion, and you knew you were going to get Team Hell No, and you knew you were going to get Ryback.
It was awesome.
Because
we
nobody
haven't
had
seen
shown
the whole
up yet.
broadcast. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I was smiling
Yes.
the whole time.
When the brawl finally happened, everything was going. Everyone was mixing it up. Sheamus even got in the mix. But there were so many dudes fighting.
It's like a bar brawl.
It was awesome. I think this is one of the best techniques to lead into a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It makes. I love that they went off air black
During the brawl.
instead of a segment where they were just staring each other down.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Makes me want to see it. I'm
This
excited
Attitude
for
Era
this.
style. What's going to happen next week? You know,
I'm
in the
excited
middle
for the
of the
pay-per-view
match.
this
Yeah.
week. I really am looking forward to tables, ladders, and chairs. I think we're going to get some fantastic matches,
Fandango.
and we get to see we get to see the Shield in their first actual match situation involving tables, ladders, and chairs. You're going to see Rollins do stuff. You know, right now we've only seen these guys punch and kick.
Yeah, and I'm actually more excited for the main event now that we had an injury and we lost the main event. I think it's a better main event now because we had already seen Ryback Punk. You know, I didn't want to see that again, and I'm interested to see the Shield. So I'm very excited for this main event.
There's a chance, AfterBuzz fans. There is a chance. We're working on it. We'll see. Maybe we'll post on the websites and everything. We may do a little pay-per-view after show coverage.
We're working on it.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
That's right. We're working
People
on it.
keep asking. I keep telling them we're working on it. We're working on
Sunday
it.
post pay-per-view. Just keep in tune.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but we're trying. We're trying to make it happen.
If not this one, eventually we will get pay-per-views.
Well, that's the broadcast of Raw tonight. Definitely, it closed hot, man, and it made us exciting. So but now we got through that, and we actually did discuss every match. Let's talk some WWE Rushmore, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. So for a 3-hour show, it didn't really drag the third hour as much, did it?
I had about a 45-minute segment in the midst of that 3 hours where I
Okay.
started getting bored and I was
Gotcha.
phasing out of some
Well,
of the
you had
matches.
Kofi Cesaro in the third hour, right? Maybe the Miz TV segment was a little.
AJ Vicky was awful too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say it was a B+ broadcast.
Yeah.
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 B+.
I'd agree.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
I have to give it an A.
I'll give it an A-. Yeah.
A's. Wow.
I'll give it A
Wow.
minus B
I
plus.
said I have to give it an
The
A.
company man. All right, let's talk some hashtag WWE Rushmore. Before I even go into individuals, I got Ed Ocho Cinco. Let's go into individuals. Ed Ocho Cinco rocking HBK, Hogan rocking Triple H, Gav Wav, Taker rock Austin HBK, Beazle 228, Bret Hart Austin rock Taker, Stupac JR rock Austin Triple H Taker, Jason Young 4 HBK Austin Taker. You seem to hear a trend right here in this name, Taker.
Austin Taker.
Austin Taker. Monster Heel throwing out some different names. Andre Hogan, Gorilla Monsoon, and Bobby Heenan.
Will you be serious, Heenan?
Oh wow.
Jacob H45, Hogan, Austin Taker, and Bruno.
What was that one?
Bruno in the mix on that
That was
one.
very close to mine. Not
Hogan,
quite, but
Austin,
very
Taker,
close.
Bruno. Puny Boehner says Hogan, Andre, Austin, Rock. Magnum Hard says Hogan, Austin, Bruno, and Andre.
He gets the award for the best. I will follow him.
You're going to
for
follow
that.
Magnum Hard?
Yes.
I will follow you, sir.
Mr. Phenomenal 7 says Hogan, Austin, HBK, Taker. And what I found most interesting about most of our listeners who submitted some of these Mount Rushmores, there's no Cena on any of these. No Cena.
Not yet. Not yet.
Overall, if I were to go tabulate all these scores of our listeners, they think that it should be Austin, Taker, Rock, and Hogan.
Interesting.
Those are the 4 most requested.
I would go with all of those except Rock.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
throw The Rock on?
Nah.
You wouldn't throw on the most electrifying man in sports
I
entertainment?
don't either. Yeah.
In the ring, yeah, but compared to everyone that's been in the WWE, I would have to take Rock out. I would put Savage in his spot because Savage took an era of when it was kind of dead and made wrestlers become spokespeople for products that were not part of pro wrestling. Savage took Slim Jim.
If Savage didn't do Slim Jim, Mick Foley couldn't do Chef Boyardee.
That's true.
You know, Rock, you know, he was great. I mean, nothing against The Rock, but he was great head to toe in the ring, on the mic. Out of the ring, it was more Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, when Savage went to do Slim Jim, it was Randy Savage.
Right.
It wasn't Randy Poffo.
Yeah, mine here. I actually went with the faces of all what I would consider the different like 4 eras. So I got Bruno, I got Hogan, I got Austin, and I got Cena.
Interesting.
So I go with the guys who are essentially the faces of the company from what I consider those 4 eras. Rock was kind of a face, but him and Austin were at the same time, and Austin was really the face of,
The bigger
that
star.
era.
Yeah.
So I go with the biggest star of those 4 eras.
Yeah, and I went with Andre, Hogan, Austin, Taker as well. I first had Austin and Rock, Cena, and Hogan, and then I was just like, how am I not putting Undertaker and Andre the Giant on here?
Not a lot of Shawn Michaels on there. Not a lot of people say Michaels, right?
No, actually, it started coming at the end. We started getting more. He didn't make it to hit the 4. He was like number 6 on the overalls. Andre was pretty close too. He was getting a lot of requests
I could see
as
Andre.
well.
Yeah, I mean he's the reason Hogan, man. You know,
I had
WrestleMania 3.
I had Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Cena.
Yeah, see that. Yeah,
Hogan, Austin,
And then I feel
Rock,
weird
and
that Taker's not on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel weird too, but he was never, I mean, he's...
I picked Taker because he was the one character that has been,
No, he belongs there.
you know,
Yeah.
He's
forever.
WWE Rushmore for sure.
And I know you guys both are going with like who was really carrying the company at that time. You know. At the
Yeah, I'm
time
going to the
there.
biggest, and I didn't go into the old names that are pre my era, so to speak, because
Yeah, that's why I wanted, because
I'm an era elitist.
Yeah. I went
Fine,
because if
fine.
you say it's going to be Rushmore, George Washington was on there, you know, so it's
Well, let's-
entire history.
Let's
so.
go to Jenny, who broke down her choices based on the current faces of of Mount Rushmore. So, who was your George Washington, Jenny?
Bruno.
Going
Was
classic
my
and old.
George Washington.
Figured a founding father in essence of the industry.
John was my Thomas Jefferson.
John Cena. Okay.
And then I got Hogan for Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. I had to rep the ladies, and I went with Fabulous Moolah.
Look
Oh,
at that.
I like that. Moolah.
Moolah.
That's a good one.
Because Abraham Lincoln was a mover and a shaker, and she was one of the first, well-known women.
And the
so-
longest reigning champion in the history of
Yep.
probably pro wrestling of, 30 years she held the belt or something like that?
Abraham Lincoln emancipated slaves. Moolah wrestled as a woman.
Exactly. I think it's perfect fit.
Hey, Abraham was a wrestler also.
He was a wrestler.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. He was an
That's
amateur
awesome.
wrestler.
That's why I'm here.
Let's pick Abraham Lincoln. I wish I kind of like these little discussions. That's that for WWE Rushmore. Let's throw 2 hashtags out for next week. To discuss through this week to get on air next week. I got this one, the controversial hashtag WWE 6 to Nix. If you're in talent relations and you got to get rid of 6 people from the roster, could be anyone, could be wrestlers, announcers, you can even drop some referees, any talent, you got to drop 6. WWE 6 to Nix is the hashtag. I'll talk about mine next week.
I think they should fire the production assistant. I think they should fire the travel coordinator, and that's
Talent. It has to be talent, not production people. The other
the guy
one,
that takes the tickets.
So on a positive note, if we're going negative with the 6 to Nix, hashtag WWE High Five. Who are the top 5 guys? Who are the top newcomers to build the company around?
So, what is the criteria? Are we talking NXT guys that have been on the roster for a year
It's
and
open-
less?
Yeah, we'll qualify as new.
Open to your choice, and anyone that meaning I don't want to see Cena, Undertaker. I don't want to see established mega stars. I want the high 5 of who should become the next crop of stars.
So someone who's been in 2011,
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example because this one seems a little more confusing. My WWE High 5 for this week: Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Antonio Cesaro, Wade Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, gotcha.
But can we pick stars from NXT?
Absolutely. Stars to look forward to that are going to make some waves. Well, we had a pretty action-packed day of 3-hour Raw broadcasts. We had a nice flow going on. We got any plugs you'd like to end with, Mr. Clum?
Yeah, I don't remember the dates of everything I'm doing. January 5th, I think, Millennium Pro Wrestling.
Millennium Pro Wrestling back in action.
Or what did I say? January 5th, and then January 13th, I'll be in Alpha Omega Wrestling in Palm Desert.
Showtime.
Showtime Josh, Twitter. Holla at you, boy.
Holla at your boy. Holla, holla, holla.
Oh, and in 3 weeks, I'll be on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. My first ever TV spot.
He shot that.
His match.
Yeah, did you
Apparently, I knocked a camera out of a cameraman's hand at
we'll
that
talk
show.
about that next week.
I didn't know that. Jenny, plugs?
Follow me at Jenny Allford on Twitter.
She posted pictures too, so you have to follow her.
There's some good pictures.
There's some really good pictures on there.
Raven, the plugs, my man.
At Raven1220, and I just got word today that I will be at the Royal Rumble.
All right.
Fantastic. Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, Vegas next night too, and San Diego for SmackDown.
And you just got word on that.
Got that earlier today.
I actually got to make some calls and try to schedule a little extra work for that little swing.
Why you trying to tag on my catering?
I'm trying to ride those coattails,
it's
man.
my catering.
At I am Smiley on Twitter, www.iamsmiley.com, where you can get your mood rings, baby. That's right. You can also catch me on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and also January 5th at MPW, where I will be defending my MPW Maximum Television Championship.
Who are you defending against? Do you know?
I think I'm going to be. I think I've maneuvered. My people have been able to sign the contract against. I think I'm taking on some enhancement talent just to prove my dominance.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Wow.
I think I just
You're
want to
going to give someone a chance?
I'm going to give someone a chance to elevate themselves and also give the audience a chance to see me at my best.
And you'll do more than one offensive move this time.
We may try for 2.
Okay. Excellent.
I try to work smart, not hard.
All right.
More
Paper
push-ups.
champion.
More push-ups, more things. Headblade champion, man. Do you say Headblade? I'm wearing the hat today because I didn't have a clean shave, I'm sorry to say. But anyways, this has been your AfterBuzz, buzzing after Raw broadcast for the week of December 5th. On behalf of yours truly, GQ Money, Ryan Showtime. I just messed that whole thing up. Ryan Colonel Clum, Josh Showtime Padgett, Raven, Truth is Scary, Travis Berry, and I'm not a stupid man, but I do know what love is. Jenny Allford. This has been The Bar, buzzing after Raw. Tune in to us again next week. Rate us, subscribe to us on iTunes and on Twitter and on YouTube. That's it. I'm out. We're out. Call it a night. Bye-bye, Birdie.
Later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Ooh.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.